5 things you missed in Arsenal 1, Leicester 1. That is right lads, Arsenal's hopes of somehow making it to the UEFA Champions League have all but been slashed apart. And that's after Arsenal held to a draw against Leicester City at the Emirates Stadium. Of course, in terms of the game itself, Arsenal took the lead in the first half, and I can't lie, we should have scored more goals. But obviously with Arsenal not taking their chances, the second half was always going to bite us back. And of course with Eddie Nketiah then getting sent off moments after coming on. And up stepped Jamie Vardy, of course it would be him, as the WKD merchant scored a goal which could be considered offside. Now of course this was a massive game for the future of Arsenal Football Club, and with Arsenal not getting the result we needed, let's just say there is a lot to talk about. So with that being said guys, let's get into today's video and let's discuss 5 things that you missed in Arsenal 1, Leicester 1. Your boys not happy, let's get into this. You had one job, Arsenal. You know what, I'm not even going to blame Arsenal today. You had one job, you referees, and you completely robbed us. And to be fair lads, I'm not even surprised. Yo, what is on guys, my name is Battles and welcome back to my channel. In today's video lads, we are back again to discuss the Arsenal, not the mighty Arsenal, because of course we didn't win today, with of course the result being 1-1 at the Emirates against Leicester City, a game that, let's be honest lads, we needed to win, and it just didn't happen for us. And for me, the saddest thing about it is the fact that we had the chances, we had the opportunities, and we weren't even that bad. And there's not a single Arsenal player I can blame for today. Hang on a minute, there is of course Eddie Nketiah, but to be honest with you guys, it was a game where Arsenal played very well, we had chances, and we should have won the game. And obviously that was all under the hard work and definitely has nothing to do with the refereeing decisions. But with that being said guys, before we get into the video, so make sure to go down, smash a like on it, and also do subscribe to me if you're on it as well. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, it was a massive game, Arsenal didn't get the result, so what does that mean for our future, where we're going to finish? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to follow all my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and also subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. The links are in the description below. But with that being said guys, let's get into the video and let's discuss Arsenal's defeat, because it is a defeat, because it feels like a defeat. Arsenal 1, Leicester 1, let's be talking. The first thing you guys might have missed is Jamie Vardy's potential red card. Now let me get one thing straight lads, before the comments start going, oh Babs, you're just salty, it was a red card in Nketiah. I know it was a red card, I'm going to say it on paper, on camera right now, Eddie Nketiah deserved to be sent off. Yes, he didn't mean it, but the fact is he endangered the opponent, and I understand that he got sent off for a reason, and I have zero issues with the referee there, but I do have a couple more issues though. Let's start off with a Jamie Vardy potential red card. Now funny enough lads, this is the thing that even I missed during the game, and it was only after the game when I jumped onto social media to rant to the world of how much I hate referees, is where I saw this incident, and I cannot lie to you, after seeing it, I'm like, boy, what is going on with the referees? Because when you look at the actual thing itself, how on earth can you tell me this is not a red card? And it all goes down to the whole thing of consistency. Of course, in football, there's a lot of debatable things. A lot of times, referee will get things wrong. But the one thing football fans, football players, and football managers can all agree on is the fact that we want a form of consistency. And we just simply don't get it here in England. Like for me, I'll say it one more time, the Eddie Nketiah decision was a red card. It was right. But then you can't tell me with a straight face by looking at that decision and then compare it to the Jamie Vardy thing that there's any difference there. In fact, you can even argue Vardy's thing's worse. He clearly goes for the head. It might be accidental, but it's still a dangerous piece of play. And as we all saw, having 10 men has a massive effect on the game, as it should. And with the Vardy decision being in the 45th minute, just imagine if he got sent off like he should have. Arsenal should have won the game regardless. And I'm not trying to blame the referees for the result, but you guys are simply not helping me out. Yes, the Eddie Nketiah decision was right, but the Jamie Vardy decision was an absolute disgrace. And for me lads, it once again showed what lacks in the English game. Let's face it lads, we already know the standards of referees in England are simply not good enough. But that is nothing new to me. But one thing I just hope to see going into next season is just a form of consistency. There's so many cameras at games now, you can see every single decision from every different angle. So how on earth do you go and miss something this obvious? And also lads, in terms of the offside as well. On one hand, of course, in terms of the initial parts itself, yes, Vardy is onside, but then it goes down to Jose Perez, who was clearly offside. And of course, if he actually did touch the ball, then of course Vardy is offside as well. But in terms of that specific decision, let's get straight lads, it's a far more debatable thing. There's nothing clear cut. If the goal is given, there's no complaint. If the goal is not given, there's no complaint either. So what I'm trying to say to you guys in terms of the VAR decision and the Eddie Nketiah red card, I basically agree with those. So don't call me a fraud in the comments, even though I might be one. But instead call the referees frauds, the ones that just completely chose to ignore a clear red card from Jamie Vardy. I mean, what do you owe to his WKD merchants? Nketiah was sent off correctly, VAR gave the right goal, but Vardy should have been sent off as well. That is all I'm trying to say. Moving on to the second thing you might have missed, and that is Arteta left angered. Mikel was simply not happy, and rightly so of course. Arteta came out to the media after the game and he made it clear to people that he was not happy by the fact that Vardy Vardy just got away with it. In terms of when he was asked about the Eddie Nketiah red card, he kind of admitted to it but kind of defended it at the same time, but he then went on to say, but if that is a red card, then Leicester have to play with 10 men after 42 minutes, and that has to be a red card as well. And the guy's speaking facts there, lads. For me, lads, I just cannot fathom how they sent off Nketiah for that and they just completely decided to ignore the Vardy thing. On paper, they're just as bad as each other. The only difference is Vardy's gone for the head and Nketiah has gone for the leg. Both could be accidental, but at the same time, lads, they both endanger the opponent. And if I'm Nketiah, of course I'm angry. Because just think about it, if Leicester had to play 10 men for the second half of the game, most likely chances are Arsenal win the game and quite comfortably as well. The chances of making a Champions League become that much closer. We would have closed the gap to Man United to just 3 points, and we would have overtaken Wolves into 6th place. But alas, of course, it just wasn't meant to be. And just like your boy, Arteta wasn't happy either, and understandably so. These referees now, they're the biggest frauds this country's ever seen. Moving on to the third thing, lads, and that is Saka our Trent Alexander-Arnold? Yes, I just said that. Now, of course, in terms of the game itself, as you guys would have known, Arsenal took the lead in the game. A lovely little through ball play by Ceballos into Bukayo Saka, who caressed the ball into Aubameyang's path, who tapped in to get his 20th Premier League goal of the season. Ayo, that golden boot is pending, by the way. But most importantly, in terms of Bukayo Saka, that was his 12th assist of the season. And now that's a very impressive number, especially when you consider the fact that only players to get more in all competitions is Trent Alexander-Arnold and Kevin De Bruyne. On one hand, you have proven international players who are world-class players. On the other hand, you have an 18-year-old rookie playing his first proper season of professional football. Put some respect on Bukayo Saka's name. And if I'm gonna call him a golden boy, I can call him a golden boy. The fact alone that he's getting the goals, he's getting this, just tells me how important this guy is for the Arsenal future. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Arsenal, I am giving Haaland a cheeky little check as well. Because of course, at the end of the day, the guys in the Arsenal Academy may have just saved us a 60 to 70 million pound player. This guy for me has such a bright future. And you can argue in terms of the current Arsenal squad, he has the brightest of futures. And that is me saying that with Arsenal also having Cristiano Ronaldo's stepbrother and Gabriel Martinelli. And I can't lie to you guys, in terms of me as an Arsenal fan, I'm actually kind of excited. Now, of course, I know this current season needs to be nothing less of shambolic. And so, of course, I understand a lot of fans are simply not happy and they're pretty depressed right now. But me, on the other hand, you know, I'm a bit gassed. And what I'm gassed for is the future. We have so many good young players, players that for me have the brightest of futures, players that for me that can carry Arsenal Football Club. And so to see the spine of young players that we have just coming for the club or coming to the club, when you look at the likes of William Saliba, we've got one of the best young centre-backs in the world coming. When you look into tactical players like Gabriel Martinelli, a player who is Pele's godson, who is the heir to Ronaldinho, who Ronaldo Nazario has posters on the wall of, and then you also have players like Joe Willock, Emil Smith-Rowe, and then you add that onto Bukayo Saka, and you have a very good core of very, very good young players. And I'm also forgetting this guy, man like Matteo Guendouzi. But of course, as you guys may have seen, just the day before the game, David honestly came out and he said Guendouzi is most likely to leave Arsenal this summer. But then on the other hand, you had reports coming out today saying that Guendouzi won't leave Arsenal just for the sake of it, and if he is to leave Arsenal, he wants to secure first team minutes. And so then you could potentially add Guendouzi to the core of young good players. All I'm going to say, lads, is yes, this current season has been a very, very depressive one. But at the same time, lads, you should be very excited for the future. Because the future is so bright. And Bukayo Saka is the epitome of that. Moving on to the fourth thing you might have missed, and that is Arsenal's character. Lads, all I'm going to say is ask yourself the question. If this specific game was to be played 6 months ago, and the same thing of Arsenal getting a player sent off was to happen, we all know Arsenal would have capitulated. And so in a weird way, despite Arsenal not getting the result we needed, I am taking the positives out of it. Because what we saw was very promising. We saw an Arsenal team that didn't for once capitulate. We saw an Arsenal team that didn't crumble under pressure. Because over the years, we've seen it time and time again when Arsenal get to this point of the game, they concede a goal and everything goes to shambles. And it just didn't happen today. And again, in a weird way, that kind of adds to my optimism. Because what I am seeing is the effect of Mikel Arteta. Since coming to the Arsenal, yes, we've not been the best going forwards. But what he has definitely done is helped us defensively. First time in ages, I'm seeing an Arsenal defense that actually looks organised. Am I dreaming right now? I'm seeing an Arsenal defense that has Mustafi, Lloris and Krasnick, and yet still look pretty solid. And so I can't lie to you guys, lads. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, imagine when Arteta gets his own players. We could potentially have one of the best defenses in the league. And that, as an Arsenal fan, is just mental to hear. And so I say to you guys once again, yes, today's result didn't go our way. But at the same time, lads, there's a lot to be optimistic about for the future. And one of those things is definitely the Arsenal defense. I can't believe I'm saying this, lads. Moving on to the fifth and final thing, lads, and that is the end of the UEFA Champions League hopes. I had to end with a negative, didn't it? Because so far in this video, I've somehow kept it positive. But lads, I'm gonna have to be real for a second here as well. Because of course with Arsenal not getting the result we needed, for me lads, this ends any hope that any Arsenal fan had of somehow getting into the UEFA Champions League. And I mean, don't get it twisted, it was going to be hard in the first place, but the fact alone that we didn't get the 3 points today, and then of course you had Chelsea winning today as well, the gap between Arsenal and 4th just became that bit bigger. And so for me lads, as much as your boys are optimistic guys, as much as I have drunk from Tyler's water bottle, I also kind of have to admit the hopes of the Champions League are all but gone. I hope you're happy Brighton Hove Albion. If I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys, I personally lost most hope back in December, because what I was seeing back then was an Arsenal side that was completely failing. Unai Emery was completely making us play the wrong way, and we were losing game after game after game. And so to be honest with you guys, I had lost all hope of the Champions League there and then, and I kind of had written the season off already, and I kind of said to myself, anything we get from the season now is just a plus on a very poor season. And so if you look at it in that perspective, things don't look that bad, because despite how bad the season's been, there has been a few positives. On one hand, you have the emergence of the Arsenal youth players. You got your Saka, your Martinelli and Nketiahs. You have the likes of Aubameyang having another fantastic season. You have the improvement of Berleno and the emergence of Emiliano Martinez as a very solid backup goalkeeper. And you also have for me one of the best prospect managers in the world in Mikel Arteta. And so yes, it has been nothing short of a horrific season, and make no mistake about that. But at the same time lads, putting my tie glasses on for a second, there is a lot of things still to be positive about. Yes, ultimately this season has been a massive failure, but at the same time lads, what I am going to say to you is going into the future, I am actually very excited to be an Arsenal fan. And now it's over to you, the Arsenal board. Josh, you said to be excited last summer, you deliver with Nicolas Pepe. And this summer I expect nothing different. So it's over to you, man like Josh Kroenke, man like Stan Kroenke, and man like Don Raul Sanllehi. Oh, and also the referees in England, you're really bad at what you do. But with that being said guys, I am going to end the video there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go and have a special like on it, and also do subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the game itself, on the result, where it leaves Arsenal, and also are you also excited for the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to follow all my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, and subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. The links are in the description below. But with that being said guys, let's end the video there. Yes, Arsenal may have not got the result they wanted, but at the same time lads, I think there's a lot of bright things in the future. I'm excited for the future, and lads, we move on, we move. I'll see you next time in a bit.